Let's get started with episode 7. So today is going to be covering from contract to cash. Like I want to cover, okay, I got it locked up. What are my steps? What do I do? How do I get my deals sold? How do I get in front of the right people? A large part of this is going to be what you guys just heard on the phone call, but really just vetting to see how serious they are. You are doing your best to protect your reputation and protect the seller. So with that all being said, what you're looking for right off the bat is, okay, I got my deal under contract. How do I present this in the easiest to consume way for buyers? How do I make it so easy to say yes or no right away? Which leads me to, the Catalyst Command platform that we now have, where you guys can do that very quickly, very easily, where you log in, you get into your deal studio, and you design it properly. You can go in and you can add your branding, you can add your logos, all your deal parameters. It is essentially a pitch deck ready to go, one page. They can submit their offer right there on the page. They can ask questions on the page, and you're going to get all that info. Catalyst Command, but I'm going to, just because quickly and easily I can say, hey, this is a great way to get in front of buyers. This is what works for us. This is what we've been doing. Our pitch deck looks this way, so we created a platform that allows you to make it so it's very easy to dispose your deals. So essentially what you're looking for to do is to create something that's even easier or better looking than like a Zillow listing, right? You are looking for a way to get all this information out. It shouldn't take me longer than 5 minutes to say, oh, wow, I want to learn more about this deal, or I need more from this deal, or no, I'm not going to do this. So that's number one. Contract, make sure your contract's signed. Everything in your contract is as negotiated. It is protecting your assignability, and it's protecting your sellers, and it's going to be something that is marketable to a buyer. When I say marketable, I mean you want the terms to be favorable. You want the terms to be legitimate. You don't want to waste your time marketing a deal that nobody wants. So make sure your underwriting was correct, all that. So let's say all that's in order. Next step is your materials, your marketing materials. And then lastly, and most importantly, is your vetting, your conversations, and how you handle communications. Now, if you're doing a ton of deals and you don't have time to commit to proper communications, that's when you have to look at your system and your bottleneck and all the things that might be going wrong in your deals, or which could cause a deal not to work out. Maybe it's communication, maybe it's improper conversations or scheduling. There's a lot of stuff where time is of the essence. Time is the most important part of a deal. It's not only going to be marketing. Whereas, today it's like this guy reached out, super eager. I'm like, okay, I would love to plan a time to talk to you. Let's talk. You'll have my undivided attention. I'll get you everything you need. And now that's my opportunity to sell the deal, right? Having the materials readily available makes it a lot better. He didn't look at my materials. That's fine. And all I had to do is say like, hey, we already sent it over, but don't worry, I'll get you even more. I didn't blame him and say, well, you didn't look at it. What the hell? I was like, yeah, no problem. I can get you updated. I can get you what you need here, here, and here. Okay, yeah, maybe I can even get you a rent roll or bank statement, stuff like that proves everything. But if you're really doing it properly, you should already have that stuff ready and be able to send it over while you're on the phone. Bank statements wasn't something I had. We haven't asked the seller. The seller's not super, super transparent. But now that, serious party, we'll talk with him, get it presented, get everything sent over. I'll go through how we do it, what we do. And then for anyone who wants to follow along here, I'm going to put our Dispo document that I have directly in the chat for you. So the Catalyst proven process that I have in it's all right there. I mean, it's a playbook. It's everything we've been talking about for the last 3 weeks. It's all in one document. I don't know how many people actually look at it. You definitely should be. You actually need. This is kind of the blueprint all in one. So that document right there is kind of going to be what I'm doing today in terms of dispoing the contract and communicating with buyers. And then as we go through this, I'll be referencing that document for you and explaining the points throughout it. Cool. Good answer. I like that. JVing with the right people, private equity firms, acquisition managers, converting business owners into real estate investors, looking for towns outside of major cities with high foreclosures. Nice. Yeah, reverse wholesaling to another degree. Really good. Could not lock up because of EMD. Heard that. Sorry to hear that. So that's going to be, the EMD thing is going to be part of what I'm saying, marketable contract. So I want to really hit on preparation and relate it to everything else we've been talking about in terms of your brand, your network, and essentially your product. Right? So people should know that when working with Catalyst, you're going to get X, Y, Z. I sent it out to all of my buyers at one point, and ever since then the response was so good that I send it out all the time now. Here's our cash on cash return targets. Here's our entry targets for creative. Here is our cap rate targets for cash. This is what you can expect from us. And then anytime we send them a deal, it looks a very specific way. It has the branding, it has the photos, it has everything I want in it to just scream who we are. But the main thing is the product, and what I can dictate is the numbers. So the numbers, the quality of the deal is my product. Now, if this is another business, you can relate it to selling coffee mugs. You can relate it to selling a toothbrush. The quality of your product is what you can control. So the quality of our product in wholesaling is the quality of our deals. How do they get low entry? How do they get low interest? How do they get high cash on cash percentages? So attaining deals that essentially other people can't provide. And that's everyone's goal as a wholesaler, right? And then obviously coming in with a buyer already at your hip, that solves all of your dispositions. Having people that you're already actively buying for, you're not really doing any disposition. You're truly just connecting hands everywhere you go. But let's say you don't have that, or your 5-10 buyers that you have don't want it, or maybe they're not buying right now, or maybe there's a situation, and then it comes time to, okay, I have to dispo, I have to get this in front of as many buyers as I can. I have to vet each and every buyer. How do you do that? So then when you go and look at the Catalyst proven process for wholesaling, deal presentation is going to be your biggest thing. So you have to have title and assignability. You have to have clean, easy access to the properties. So whether it be a lockbox, whether it be showings, if there's a renter, you have to schedule it. If who's the boots on the ground, who's able to do that? Is the agent okay doing that? Is the agent going to steal your deal, steal your buyer, let your contract fall out, and then hook up the buyer? How do you protect yourself in all this? What does your photos and your media package look like? Is it screenshots of the Zillow listing, or did you get real updated photos from that week? And then your numbers, are your comps correct? Is your ARV correct? Is your repair scope? Are your bids correct? All these things, rental comps. How does the neighborhood look? How marketable is your deal? So you're going to go through all this. There's a checkbox or a checklist right there, and you're aiming for a certain score. We try to aim for 26 out of 30. So you're just going to rate everything on a 0, 1, or 2 scale. You have title and assignability, clean access, your photo packages, maybe even videos, comps and ARV support, repair scope, and bids if needing any repair, rental comps, the feasibility, aka your numbers, neighborhood crime context, permitting, zoning, use check, are we within the right use, taxes, insurance, your pro formas, your deal story, and your exits. So most of your deals are going to have 1 to 2 exits. You got to be able to explain these things to your buyers. And that right there is going to create your buyer avatar that you're going to target. So when you're communicating with buyers, you should look at your deal and say, okay, who does this fit? Noelle and I, when we just sold that motel deal, it was very clear when we talked about it, who does this fit? It was, okay, we need someone with very high experience. We need someone who is capable of doing a high level remodel on 48 units, who can do it within a year so they don't lose money. And because we ran all the numbers, we saw what we needed, and that's who we targeted. I did not target, people who buy apartments in San Antonio. I targeted people doing high volume of flips with a team and a process that's going on that is capable of doing this without it affecting their business, because that's the only way someone would buy such a large project, right? So then you're going into your guardrails, I like to call them, is making sure your parameters that you set, your expectations for your product, right? Your product catalog, we'll call it. So if I have 10 houses for sale, they all should be lying within parameters that I need to present my buyers. So I'm not going to present a deal that the cash on cash percentage is 8%. That's a low cash on cash percentage, unless there's an extremely high upside to it and there's a reason for it, right? But even then, you are lowering your chances of getting a deal sold. So I'm looking at MAO, I'm looking at ARV, I'm looking at best use in terms of rental or the property itself. Maybe this motel should be a long-term living situation or mid-term living situation rather than a daily rate situation. Maybe that land on the back of the property that's not being used, can we add storage units? Can we add more parking? Can we add RV pads? Can we add a dog park? What is going to drive people to this, right? So I'm looking at best use, and along with all the numbers, and again tying it back to my buyer avatar. And then you're you're looking at all the potential red flags. You are putting yourself in the buyer's shoes and saying, what's wrong with this? Why wouldn't this work? Would this work? What's going on? How do I maintain interest from page 1 to page 2 of my pitch deck? How do I make sure they either ask me more questions, want to get on the phone with me, or want to walk the property? How do I do one of those 3 things? Essentially, your pitch deck and have it readily available. They should not be asking questions after they view it unless it is extremely specific to what they want to do or something they need to understand about either you or the seller. Right? It can't be deal specific to a point where it's something that you missed. Hey, what's insurance cost on this? They shouldn't be asking me that. I should have insurance cost in. Hey, do you know what property taxes are? They shouldn't be asking me that. I should have property taxes for them. Do you have photos of the 3rd unit? Why is there only 6 photos? That's an issue. You should have a full breakdown of the property. If you don't have the right photos, you only have 2 photos, and you're telling someone to go look at a property, they're very likely not going to. And they're even more likely to be disappointed by something within the deal. If they only have 2 photos, they go, well, you didn't mention the backyard sucks. Why didn't you tell me the backyard is, we can't do anything with it? Why isn't there photos of the backyard? That's a very real thing, and that will let people down, and then that drives their number lower. Whether or not it's worth lower, that's going to mess up their thought process, mess up the deal for you. So considering that, making sure you are fully prepared to dispo contract correctly, that's going to be number 1. In terms of marketability, is making sure you are prepared. So many wholesalers send me deals where I have to ask a million questions, and half the time I don't even get like a well-rounded answer. You can tell they're bullshitting you. It happens all the time. That's why there are so many investors and agents and lenders and people in our real estate space who don't want to work with wholesalers, because it is such a process. Don't be them. Do what we're doing. Go read the Catalyst Proven process and do this every time you get a deal. You will not need me to dispo your deals. If you are on time in terms of your communication, and what you reflect in your pitch deck is true, you do this, you're fine. So making sure you have your media folders ready, all of your underwriting, best use, and then finding your buyer avatar. So in the Catalyst Proven process, on the 3rd tab, communicating with buyers, you have to know your buyer avatar. You have to know your deal inside and out, and you have to have speed and reliability within your deal, which creates credibility, which creates confidence, which creates signed contracts, correct? So it's not just have a contract, it's a lot more, and you have to focus in on that portion of it. I mean, I'd rather dispo 100 good deals than 10,000 bad deals a year, truthfully. There's a chance I sell the bad deals. We've sold bad deals. We've sold deals where I told the student, this will not sell, but I'll give it a shot. And somehow we've sold them. So I'm not counting you out, and that shouldn't be like, well, if I should just try it anyways. That isn't always the case. But sometimes you don't know an exit strategy that a buyer does, and they come along and you might push them away because you don't understand or you don't know. And that's what happened. But what I did was, instead of pushing them away, I was open to it. And I said, hey, okay, let's talk about it. Let's review this together. Let's get on the phone. Let's see if I can get the seller on board. But we've had multiple situations where this was the case, and we've had sold bad deals. But why do we sell a bad deal? Probably because we presented it the way we did. We had access, we had marketability, we had good communication, timely communication, openness to negotiate, and readiness to get it done. A lot of people don't have that. So remembering professionalism first, you're always networking. Every conversation you're networking. Whether or not it feels like it, you are networking. So remember that. And remember that every conversation is important to your reputation. Always. There's never a simple, easy conversation in real estate. There's never a meaningless or like pointless conversation. There's always a reason, and it's always a good idea to be yourself and to maintain your reputation, period. So huge piece of advice there. And that's going to lead you to protecting your deal, your relationships, creating more relationships, creating more deals, executing more deals, getting more contracts signed. It's not about luck or hype. It's about reliability, protection, credibility, and execution, right? Here's how, right now in your mind, if I were to be like, hey, I just got a deal, will you dispo it for me? What would you do? How would you get the deal sold there in 50%? If I came to you guys and I was like, hey, I am swamped, I can't dispo my deal, I need someone to get it sold. Where would you go? What would you do? Would you investor lift, find an agent, post it on Zillow, post on Facebook Marketplace, post in Facebook groups, post it on Morby's creative listing site, post it on a bunch of different communities? What would you do? Would you reach out to other wholesalers? How would you get it sold? There's no right or wrong answer, by the way, because most of the stuff I just said works. Reach out to your buyers list. Cool. I love the Zillow hack. Go on to rentals, and then you find out who the landlord is. You can call them right away. Love that. That works very well. Very easy way to find buyers. Facebook groups. I like Facebook groups. A lot of people don't. I think Facebook groups are a huge, huge resource. I love them. A lot of people can't stand them. I'm like, dude, if you know how to vet and your process just weeds out wholesalers and shitty buyers, which if you follow our proven process and you do all the stuff we've been talking about, it does. It's so easy. You guys just heard me on the phone literally just say, hey, you assigning this isn't an option. I want a serious buyer. That's it. That's it. Your contracts are ironclad half the time. Just make it unassignable after your assignment. You're fine. School, school's essentially like WAP or Discord along those lines. Totally hear you. So yeah, posting in other communities. Yep. Cool. A lot of times though, you're just going to get another community leader just like me trying to dispo your deal for you. That's what they're going to say. Are you direct seller? No. All right. I'm probably not going to dispo it for you. I've rarely found actual buyers in communities. I found other wholesalers with buyers in communities. So I actually don't post my deals in any communities anymore. I used to. I just haven't found much from it. I like using Zillow. I use my buyers list. I use Facebook. And then I use private email and text campaigns for it. I blast it out. I just go in, county records, find the most frequent buyers, and blast it out. No right or wrong answer though. You might find a buyer in school, or you just got to be prepared to JV with somebody, which is perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Just make sure your rates are good. Okay, so I go, hey, can you sell my deal? Donna is sending it to her buyers, finding someone from Zillow. I found 2 buyers off Zillow Rentals. Nice. Chad is going to communities. Robiel's reaching out to his buyers list. Cool. How do you get in front of the people you've never talked to though? You know what I mean? Like people don't even understand how skilled good wholesalers are at so many different parts of the business. And we're combining sales with marketing, with brand development, with underwriting. The skill set that wholesalers actually have, I would say, is going to be better than most agents. Not only that, creative finance. People don't know creative finance that well. The agents who do definitely do well with it. So it's really interesting to see when you go and you step back and you look at what we're building. Just over these 7 episodes, you take a step back and look at what we're talking about. You are a powerhouse of real estate knowledge and skill. So make sure you guys recognize that and give yourself a pat on the back every once in a while for it, because you're doing stuff that most agents don't do, especially if you're following our process and the Blueprint series here. So based on all the answers I've seen, Donna would be dispoing my deal. I would go with Donna. I'd say, all right, cool. Go ahead. Here's all the info. Did anyone pull up the proven process that I posted in the chat? Does it seem like too much to do? Because the disposition checklist, it shouldn't be too much if you're doing your due diligence before you get a contract. That's all stuff that you would need anyhow to be able to underwrite and present your deal. On paper, it looks like a lot, but getting photos, all your deal parameters, pro formas, best use, fitting it to a buyer, and then marketing it. It's part of the job. I don't like proper skip tracing either. We paid for it for about 2 weeks and we were like, yeah, we're done. I did not have much success with it. I do like it for their mortgage info for the most part. It's pretty accurate for mortgage info now. But aside from that, it's not that. Yeah, the data is not too bad. I actually like the data. The data is pretty good. What else, you guys? Questions regarding dispositions? I can give you a few different strategies as well. Stuff that I use to get more buzz on my post. One thing I really like doing is starting an argument in the Facebook comments with a burner account. So it's not my account, but someone will comment. I'll be logged into another Facebook account and I'll disagree with them and say something along the lines of you don't know what you're talking about. And you end up getting 30 comments on your Facebook post, which drives traffic to it and more buyers see it. It's not me saying it. Dude, you gotta know the algorithm, guys. More likes, more comments gets boosted onto people's timelines with similar interests. That's specifically on Facebook, but it works. It really works. It's funny that I'm just like, GTFOH, you don't know what you're talking about. Because some people will say comments not a great deal or something like that. I just get on the burner, write a little spammy message, and then I just keep commenting. I just keep commenting back. Like half the time I'm just sitting there arguing with people. But it drives so much traffic to your post. Like I've looked at the difference. Like a regular post, really good post, I'll get like a couple hundred views. Cool. Doing that, you get like thousands of views. And they're all looking at your deal. And they're all contacting you. It's not you saying it to them. You know what I mean? Don't be super mean. Or if you want to do it on your end of things, you can ask questions that result in more comments. Or you reply back to every comment. Hey, send me that deal. Reply back. Absolutely. Just sent it to you. Please let me know that you received it. Not a problem. Just send it to you. Stuff like that. You get more comments on your post, which pushes it in these groups. It does. It shows up to more people in the group. And if it's a public group, it shows up to people with similar interests. And they're not even in the group, but they're able to see that post. It gets pushed to their timeline. I have it happen to me all the time where I get on and I'm like, oh, I'm not even part of this group, but it's a deal because I look at so many deals and like them and comment on them. Now that I get pushed deals in from groups that I'm not a part of, but Facebook knows I like that content. So making sure you're doing that, it does get more deals in front of people. For agents, great dispo strategy, saying rent to own is available and then posting terms that are higher than FHA or conventional. Because if someone can afford that, then they can afford FHA or conventional. And then just pivoting it back to FHA and conventional. Are you guys feeling good about dispositions? Your contract needs to be marketable. Your marketing materials need to be prepared and easy to view. 5 minutes. Yes, yes, no, no. And from there, you are getting it out in front of as many people as you can. Make sense? That's the quickest breakdown. Again, you guys, this is all right here in this document. Everything I talked about today, all of it is right here. You can follow that document and you no longer need to pay me or any other community money to dispo your deals. You would not need me anymore. And that's the truth. And I don't care. Truthfully, I want you guys signing up for Catalyst Command to use our platform and our software and then use all our resources and don't even have me touch your deals. And you make 100% assignments and just keep paying $40 a month. I'm happy with that. Donna, do you have a buyer set up for your deal already? Do you need any help with dispo? Donna, if it's a good deal, I'll be your buyer on it. I like Atlanta too. Like if it's a good deal to avoid even working with other buyers, I'll be your buyer if it's legit. I really want to build a cap stack portfolio, so that's why I'm saying that. I have everything I need in Atlanta. I could get the deal closed quick. 40K, so they walk with 40K, it cash flows, you get 20K? If so, 20K is a reasonable assignment. That's legit. Good shit. I might be able to just lock it up with you. I want a cap stack deal so bad, and I love Atlanta. I have one rental on the way in Atlanta. And then depending on a few other conversations, we might be picking up 3. I like Atlanta. I like the Twin Cities. Atlanta's super easy because I have everybody there. There's not a single thing I don't have in Atlanta. Doesn't need any repairs. Fuck yeah, Donna. That's awesome. Really nice is just further proof, not to toot our own horn, but Donna, I have to a little bit. Donna's been following our process to a T. She's working it from leads that I sent, working strategies that we've been specializing in. She's locking up a deal. That's huge. I'll be your buyer. Unless your other buyer really wants it. I could have it up and running in 2 to 3 weeks, maybe less, depending on appraisal. No shootings. Nice. What zip code is it in? Any questions? Anything else you guys might need from me? Lastly, if anyone's on the fence about Catalyst Command, Donna just used everything, the whole process, locked up cap stack. Noel's using it, locking up deals. My callers are locking up deals. The leads are legit. The platform is there. It's a great way to stand out. Follow the Catalyst proven process. Follow Catalyst Pulse, the video I posted on how to do exactly what you need to do to run your business. Combine it all together, you will be successful. Absolutely, Donna. I'm super happy about that. Yeah, I hope so. Send over this stuff. I'll give you advice on it. I might be able to structure it in a way that makes them say yes. That's what I'm here to help with. Or who knows, I might be able to pull off something and be your buyer. I don't know. But as I was saying, everything's here, you guys. It's all available. It's ready to go. Probably couldn't be better than where we're at right now. There is a giveaway going on right now. If you sign up, you get 100 entries and you have a chance of winning $1,000 plus 2 weeks of working with me one-on-one plus a year free of Catalyst Command. So you could potentially pay $40, win $1,000 back, and skyrocket your business. I couldn't be more excited to be able to offer something like this. Like, this is exciting. Catalyst Command is fucking awesome. I don't know of a better platform than us. If you find one, send it to me. I would love to analyze it and see how I can become better. I'm always ready to hear feedback. I'm super hungry, super excited. I want to see this work really well for everybody. So if you're not signed up, get signed up. It's worth it. It will be worth it. So think about it. If you're on the fence, now's the time to join. All right, you guys. Later.